exactly. So, moving on from the YouTube stuff, I was kind of wondering what you all think the Nintendo NX, or whatever it's going to be called. I'm sure this is just a tentative name, but what do you guys each think that the NX will be? Because Nintendo said that it will go alongside the Wii U and the 3DS,
Yeah.
and they'll be making games and providing stuff for it alongside the other consoles. So a lot of people are saying no, it's not the successor to the Wii U or the successor to the 3DS. It's some new thing altogether. But at the same time, usually whenever the next generation of consoles do come out, as we're seeing now, whether it's the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, Microsoft and Sony are still supporting the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360s alongside the new generation of consoles. So just because they're saying that they're going to be supporting all three of the platforms doesn't mean that it's not going to be a successor. And I would just like to know where you all fall on
Well,
that.
for the Nintendo NX, I really believe it. You know, Nintendo can say whatever they want. It is gonna end up being the successor for the Wii U. What we know about it is that it's gonna be a brand new gimmick, so it's not gonna build upon what the Wii or the Wii U built, or maybe maybe it just might. Because back in the day when the DS released, Nintendo kept on claiming it's like, oh, it's not a successor to the Game Boy. That's why it's not called the Game Boy DS, Nintendo Game Boy DS. No, it's a completely new line. I'm like, guy, really, the DS is the next Game Boy. It is the next iteration of that line. The Game Boy line may be done in name, but the Nintendo DS was Game Boy's successor. So the NX might just be that, but it's gonna be a completely new gimmick. That's why I don't want to lean over towards thinking that the NX is going to be that idea that Nintendo said in the past, saying that that this game is going to be you're going to be able to play the game on a console, then take a piece off of the NX and go play on the go, because that sounds a lot like an optimized Wii U, something that the Wii U should have done in the beginning, in my opinion. So I really don't think it's going to be that line. I feel that it's going to be some sort of brand new gimmick that I don't want to try and think of, because Nintendo always is up for those surprises, and they're really big ninjas when they come up with what they're planning and stuff. But regardless, I think whatever they decide to come out with the NX, it's just gonna be new, and it's gonna be hella fun, because Nintendo knows what they're doing when it comes to gimmicks.
Well, I can say one thing that the NX need, and that is power. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
the thing is that people have been mugging and bashing the Wii U for being not a powerful system. It's a different system than the PS4 and Xbox One, and that makes it also difficult to, let's say, convince the third-party developers to develop for the console. So the NX will be more a console that must show that we are committed to the console market and we are willing to compete with Sony or Microsoft. So for me, I hope that the NX will just be a benefit for all of gaming. So we'll get back third-party developers to the Nintendo platforms. We will get some incredible Nintendo games, and just imagine Zelda in 4K, for instance. That would be insane.
That would be insane. I don't think the world is ready for 4K yet. 4K is like that new budding thing that's going to be, after 1080p. A lot of people believe that after 1080p was going to come 3D, and then that didn't really catch on as much as a lot of people would think. And then 4K is the next big thing. And I really don't see the need for gaming to jump on 4K just yet. Maybe give it another, 3 or 4 years. But I definitely agree with you when you say the NX definitely needs power. And, the Wii U, I believe the Wii U, like the specs or whatever, it's a powerful system. A lot of people complain that, oh yeah, it's not as powerful as the PS4 or the Xbox One. And like you said, it's a different system. A lot of people complain, it's like, oh yeah, I can't hack my Wii U yet. I can hack my PS4 and Xbox One. It's because they're built like computers. They're built by computer companies. The Wii U is not built like a computer, so of course you're gonna have troubles, developing for it and trying to hack the shit out of it, because it's a different console. And I feel that the NX is gonna continue to be different, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
Right. I think when Nintendo set out to make the Wii U, they're not make at the time. Some of the big games coming out were like well, still some of the big games coming out are like Call of Duty and Battlefield and some of those that kind of lean towards more realistic graphics. And I think when Nintendo was building the Wii U, obviously they wanted power for it, but as they've said many times, they've wanted like cost efficiency and stuff. But I think that sort of backfired on them, where if you go into a store to buy the Wii U here in America, I'm not sure what the prices are where the rest of you are,
Too high.
but yeah. So the Wii U is, I think, around $300 now, if I'm right. And the Xbox One without the Kinect you can buy, I think, for $350, and then the PlayStation 4 is $400. So when you're going to buy a console, you can look at the Wii U and buy it as the base console, or you can look at it as, oh, I can put $50 more into it, which you're already spending $300, so what's another $50, and get a better, opinion-based, better console that has better graphics, it's more powerful, it has
Third-party support.
Yes, it has a lot of third-party support. You're not just going to be playing the first-party games. But at the same time, with the power, I think when Nintendo made the console, they looked at it as, how much power do we really need to make Mario in 1080p? Like, we're not making it that detailed. We're adding new lighting effects and a new engine, and we need it to run in 1080p, and we need it to look good. But how much power do you really need to have Mario or Mario Kart in 1080p? So I think that was the stopping point.
The thing
for
is,
the Wii.
I don't really believe that let's say a game has to have extreme 1080p or 4K graphics to be considered good. I believe if a game actually plays well and actually plays efficiently and it's addicting, then that's really all it for me. That's my particular philosophy on it. For example, a bunch of different games have been notable for being quality gameplay experiences, but the graphics are kind of lackluster. And I think Five Nights at Freddy's is like a pretty recent example of that. In particular, the thing is, in regards to the NX, I really like, in a marketing standpoint, then Nintendo would need a powerful system in order to really garner the attention of consumers. But in a sense, as long as they really know how to market their system, as long as that they keep on doing delivering quality gameplay products that play well and not really succumb to a lot of developers here in the West are doing, in a case of just rehashing a bunch of past franchises and just giving them out and they're not even half finished or something along those lines. If they keep that up, then I'm sure they'll be fine.
Alright, does anyone else have anything to say before we move on to the final topic?
Yeah, I've got a little bit. This may be a stupid question, but is there a known difference between the NX and this whole quality of life thing Nintendo have been talking about?
As far as I know, and this is remembering back from months and months ago, so I'm not sure how accurate it is, but the first time that I heard about it and the platform that they were calling the quality of life, I thought it was something that they were going to be, they said it was a platform for a different market, whatever that means. So whether it's
Right.
like, I really have no idea what it means, but from my understanding, it's just, it could be different. But then again, statements from Nintendo can be taken any way that you want to take them, because most of the time they're not even really accurate.
I just hope there will be more third-party support, but I don't really know much about it yet, so I don't have much to say.
Is a possible future for Nintendo if the NX does fail and Nintendo does end up going software only and just making mobile games and games for other consoles. What kind of business strategy do you see them doing? Do you see them being how Sega is, where they just develop for the Xbox and the PlayStation U, the Wii U, computer, everything they can put their console games on? Or do you see Nintendo doing something like a partnership, like partnering up with Sony for a substantial amount of money to only put their games on that console? Because if they did that, then in the end, whether they partnered with Sony or Xbox to only put their games on their console, whenever people are going in to buy the next console at this time, whether it be the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 6 or the next Xbox or whatever's after that, do you see
Xbox 2.
exactly. Like, I imagine if they release around the same time, when people go to GameStop or go online to buy their consoles, they're going to be like, okay, I can buy, say they're partnering with Sony because the PlayStation 4 outsold the Xbox One by a substantial amount, and that just makes sense. More people have consoles to buy more games. So they partner with Sony, and whenever someone comes in to buy the new console or whatever, they look at the Xbox and they're like, I can play Halo, I can play Fable, I can play a few other first-party games. Or I can go to Sony and I can play God of War, I can play Uncharted, The Last of Us, Ratchet and Clank, Banjo and Kazooie, or not Banjo Kazooie, Crash Bandicoot, and like all these other great games. But at the same time, they have Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, all these other games that are only on that console as well. So it's going to be a no-brainer for most people.
I think a better question would be whether or not they want to go straight up handheld games. Actually, if anything, if you consider the 3DS to be a console in itself, they're the third most selling console on the planet right now, or in the market right now. I think a better question would be whether or not they want to focus on only on their handhelds, only on their mobile, since the 3DS is selling like hotcakes, despite all the ridiculous naming going on, especially with the new Nintendo 3DS. In a sense, if they were to go a straight up handheld, I'm not. Maybe they could pull it off. I'm not really sure. I had to do more digging on that part, but I don't know. I don't think they would go straight up like just develop software, since their mobiles have they really just sell like hotcakes.
Right, and if you look at how tablets and even smaller laptops are that have a lot of energy efficiency, you can run games in low to medium settings at 720p or some even at 1080p if it's not that hard of a game to run. And with some handhelds and stuff in the next few years, or not handhelds, but tablets and stuff, you'll see different systems or different you'll see different tablets or different gaming laptops that can run games like that you could see on the Wii U, but from the palm of your hands without the use of a console plugged into the wall and still have 4 to 6 hours on battery.
I would like to say one thing when it comes to Nintendo and going multiplat. No.
Yes.
Since Nintendo is probably, well, I will say it straight out. They are the greatest game developer ever. Since how many IPs do they have that they sit with them and they do nothing with them? Just look at the Wii U. It's a waste of potential. How many games could they have developed? They could already have had a Metroid title. I know that you are speculating and most probably will be getting a new Metroid title. Then you have F-Zero, which we know is not selling the best, but they have a sea of new of IPs that they could take use of with the NX. So I believe that Nintendo will keep to console gaming. They just need to get the marketing in order. And they need to create a system that is dedicated to the console and to bring back the third-party developers. But because that way it will be much easier for people uncertain whether they should buy the PS4 or Xbox One or the Wii U to actually go and buy a Nintendo system, since they will have all of the third-party games, but at the same time have all of the brilliant, stupendous Nintendo first-party titles.
Right. So I guess sort of changing the question that I originally asked is, because I originally intended this to be 20 minutes and we've gone way over that, sort of to end it off, what do each of you want to see in the near future from Nintendo and maybe the other two, PlayStation and Xbox, to sort of, for Nintendo to sort of turn around and start making sales like they used to with the Wii?
Personally, I believe they should try and cater a little bit more than they do already to the hardcore gaming market. Because they're really good for the casual market. We've got, Mario Kart and stuff. But then what I'm seeing at the moment is I'm seeing they are warming a little bit more to the competitive environment that surrounds games, esports and all that stuff. Like, for example, in the past, I've had a very sort of awkward stance with a competitive Smash, for example, such as Brawl and stuff, and random tripping and stuff they've made to make competitive Smash harder and stuff like that. But now they are sort of embracing it a little bit more. Like Reggie says to Zero, "I'm going to kick your ass," and I like that. I like that they are starting to embrace competitive or hardcore gaming a little bit more, because I think that's partially what attracts people to the more powerful consoles at the moment. Obviously, excluding the actual power of the consoles, is that they do seem like a more mature system. So I think if Nintendo could really get to grips with that, it would swing things a lot more in their favor.
Right, and like just to go off on that, I would really like if Nintendo of America had a bigger role within the decision-making process of the Nintendo Corporation. For example, I'm a big fan of Reggie Fils-Aimé. The guy is hilarious. And he recently announced that there's going to be a Nintendo competition. I forgot what it's called, but in the recent Direct, he announced that. Yeah, the World Tournament.
World Championships.
Oh yeah, and pretty much I just love. Yeah, I just love how the guy just talks, and he's a good public speaker.
Right. He reminds me of the real life version of the person Sony had on their PlayStation 3 campaign when it first released. He was the fake CEO on the commercials and stuff, and then one or two of the E3 conferences they actually had him come out and talk. I think Reggie is the real life version of that character. If you guys know who I'm referring to.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Like, his name is Kevin something, and I definitely agree with that.
Kevin Butler.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I guess from the rest of you that haven't gave what you would like to see from Nintendo in the near future to sort of turn their sales around, like, do you think they need to finally release their Metroid game, not hold off on Zelda for too much longer, but the best game that it can possibly be, and wait until the Wii U's probably going to be towards the end of its life cycle to release, sort of like Twilight Princess on the GameCube? And just, like, what's your opinion? What could Nintendo do to turn their sales around?
I don't think they should rush anything, because rushing is only bad. But I definitely think they should focus more on, just creating more titles like Zelda that people really love, just keeping it fresh. And I just want more third-party support. That's it, basically.
I basically want them to, like, I wouldn't say, like, keep doing what they're doing, but, keep doing what they're doing, but, better and faster. A little bit, come back with your IPs. Everyone wants to listen to the fans a bit. That's definitely what I want them to do. Listen to the fans a bit, not too much, but like, try and take what we say into account. We kind of know what we want. We are the people who buy your shit. So, yeah.
My suggestion for, I of course I'm no advisor for Nintendo, but I believe that Wii U needs $50 price cuts for the 32 gigabyte. And why? Because 32 gigabytes is basically nothing in terms of hardware. Just look at Xbox One and PS4 that have 500 giga at least on the basic models and ranging up to one terabyte. The second thing I think they need to do is release or announce more system seller games and system seller titles, since Zelda Wii U was supposed to be this huge system seller this year. Now Nintendo lacks a little bit that system seller. They hope that Splatoon will save the sales numbers, especially in the first and second quarter. But then you have the question, is Star Fox Wii U and Xenoblade Chronicles X system sellers for Nintendo? We'll have to see, but I'm afraid we'll have another situation like Bayonetta. Brilliant game, getting tens in reviews, but at the same time underperforming.
Right. Has anyone else got anything to say that hasn't said anything yet? No. All right. What was that?
I said
No, I
what
just
I'm
said no. I
bringing.
think we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So to end this, why don't you guys let us know what games you're currently playing and what game you're looking forward to?
Right now, I haven't played a video game in such a long. I've been so busy with with YouTube and school and stuff. But I'm really looking forward to, if this is in development, which I'm speculating it is, Metroid Wii U. Other than that, I'm very excited for Fallout 4. There's been some rumors that Fallout 4 is going to be revealed at E3. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I'm a huge post-apocalyptic dystopian fan.
Is that made by Bethesda or by the other? Okay, nice.
Yeah, rumor is that is one of the reasons why they're having their own E3 press conference this year, because they have games like Fallout 4 that could be coming out, and plus the new Elder Scrolls is also rumored, and then they have a few other smaller games that they're coming out with, so that's why they're having their own conference. And if people go to that conference, or if people are watching it and then they don't end up announcing Fallout 4, one of their biggest games, then it would be a waste of a conference.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same situation as Andy at the moment. I'm not actually playing much due to sort of exams and stuff, but I have a sort of backlog of games that I need to play in June when I'm free. I've got Splatoon, I've got that on pre-order. I'm going to get Witcher 3. And then I still need to finish Dragon Ball Xenoverse, which I've still not finished. So in June, I will have a lot of time, and it'll all be spent mostly playing Splatoon and Witcher, I believe.
Yeah, I've also had a little time to play in the last couple of weeks because of finals and exams. But from Tuesday and on, then it's only Witcher 3 for me. And if there's one game I'm looking forward, then it's Zelda Wii U. And I just hope that game comes out in 2016 and they don't delay it any further, since the 30th anniversary is just a perfect release window for that game.
When I have time, which is not quite often, but when I do have time, I play Dark Souls 2, which I beat, but I'm doing the DLC now, and it's really fun. And Zelda, of course, for the channel, but that's pretty much it.
And I've been all over the place. I've been playing Halo Warriors, Kingdom Hearts, Splatoon. I can't wait for Splatoon. Zelda Wii U needs to hurry up. But I've just been playing every now and again. I've been playing like League of Legends and stuff. So all the time I've been playing games.
Awesome. The most recent game that I played through was The Shadow of Mordor for PS4, and all it did was make me want to play The Witcher even more.
Nice.
Yeah.